Everyone, I hope you are all doing well in this pandemic time. Now after a long time we are meeting again. Now today we are going to revise our CSS topic, letter writing. You all might know how to write a letter because you have studied in your school days, in your inter-college, right? Now we'll see in detail what letter writing is, why we write a letter, what's the purpose of writing a letter, how many types of letters are there, what are the formats, and how to start a letter, how to close a letter, and how many parts we have in a letter. Okay, so we'll see what is a letter writing, and we'll see a brief introduction about the letter writing. Actually, letter writing is an important means of communication. It is also known as a writing skill. If you have a good writing skill, your letter is going to be an impressive one. Even though in this present time the electronic mails are more common than the letters sent by post, the different types of letters that we write as well as their basic formats and styles remain much the same, except of their basic formats and styles. Course on minor points, characteristics of the email mode means there is a slight variation between the email letters and the normal letters which are written on the paper. Letters, as you know, can be classified into two major types, that is personal or informal letters, official or formal letters. Personal or informal letters are letters which are written to your relatives, family members, friends, and the language of it is the common usage of the language can be used in writing those letters. Here in the official or the formal letters, we have to choose a suitable words, and it should be very formal and in a polite manner, okay, which are referred to as a business letters. Official letters also known as business letters. So we will focus now on the formal letters and their structure. So first we will deal with formal letter. What is a formal letter? A formal or official letter, as the name suggests, is written to a person in a company of an organization for some work related purpose or business purpose. Examples of some official letters are those written as part of the business transactions. Application letters, letters of inquiry, letters to the editor, letters written to one's colleague on matter concerning work, means official works. As a student, you may also require to write an official letter to your principal regarding some documents or some certificates. Okay, take for example, if you want a TC certificate after the completion or in middle of the degree, then you have to write an official letter to the principal requesting him to issue an transfer certificate. So official letters should be, first point should be kept in mind is that it should be correct and accurate in all respect. It should be completely written with all the necessary details, whatever it is required, and it should be clear without any room for ambiguity, means without giving any confusion. When the person reads, he should get a clear picture about what you are asking for. Third point should be remembered is it should be concise, it should be short and brief, but not at the cost of clarity. When you have said that the letter should be written in short, it doesn't sense that you should just cut short the letter and write. It should have with full clarity. It means you should have to write very clearly what all things you want there. The last point is the courteous and polite. When you write a letter, whether it is a formal or informal letter, it should be very polite and it should be humble, so that the other person should not get hurted by just seeing or reading that letter. Okay, official letters should be written in a simple language. Suppose if you have a good command over the English language and you are using high vocabulary words in it, the other person to whom you have written the letter, if he can't understand what you have written, then what you want to give, what you want to ask him, or whatever thing you want from him, you won't get that matter in time. Or it won't, because it won't be easy to read and it won't be understood by him or her. Make sure that there are no errors in spelling or in grammar. So you have to proofread before giving a letter to someone or when you send a letter. You have to check whether there is any spelling mistake or any grammatical error is there in that sentence formation. It is preferable to stick on to one subject. Suppose you are talking about one subject. Suppose you are having a complaint about some suppose you are writing a letter to a municipal commissioner. You have some problem regarding the water problem in your area. So just you have to stick on to that particular subject, that is you have a water problem in your society or in your area. So you have to stick on to that topic and you have to write a letter. Okay, in one letter. If there are many topics in a single letter, suppose if you are writing including all the issues which are there in your local area, if you write the electric problem, if you talk about the garbage, if you are talking about the other sanitary problems, if you write all the things in the same letter, the other person won't give that much response to your letter and you may get a delayed or prolonged answer from them. Right? Next point. Now we are going to see the formats of the business letters. See, there are 4 formats to write a business letter. That is, first one is the fully blocked format, as you can see. Next one is the block format, semi-block format and simplified format. Simplified format is used in the Western countries. It is not so prevalent in India now. Okay, now we are going to see a full block format. What is fully block format? In the next segment, in the next slide, I will show you how to write a fully blocked format letter. Okay, first we will see in detail what is a fully blocked format letter. Okay, in full block format letter, you have, see, altogether you have 8 parts in a letter. In these 8 parts, all the 8 parts are written towards the left margin. Okay, that I will show you in the next slide how to write. So just now listen and try to understand all the lines, that is date, inside address, salutation. Inside address means to address, from address. Salutation is greeting. Paragraph means body of the letter. Complimentary closure means a leave taking. All are written towards the left margin. If I show you here in this one, suppose imagine that this is a margin. And in fully blocked you have written everything towards the left margin. Okay, so everything from address till signature, everything is written towards the left margin. This is the modern way of letter writing and you don't have any confusion whether to write the date on the right or on the left. Everything is mentioned in the left margin rather than the right. With this, no typing adjustments are required because everything here, typing is writing when you write on a paper, because everything begins at the left margin. This form is popular due to its pleasant and informal look. Okay, now before going to this letter writing, that means going for a letter, suppose if you went to an office or to a bank and they asked you to write a letter, and immediately you will take a paper and you will just simply start writing a letter. But the most of the people, they won't have an idea that they have to give a margin. Until and unless you give a margin to a letter, you should not start a letter. In class, when I ask you to write a letter, you just search for a pencil or a scale. But in the office, you won't get such pencil or scales. Then you have to simply do is fold the paper of 1 inch in the corner and just you will get a margin. And from the margin, you can start writing the letter. The purpose of keeping this margin is that when they file your letter, they have enough space in the corner, in the left side, so that they can file it. Whenever it is required, if they want, they can take and just for reference, they can take it from that file. Okay, so it's important to put a margin at the beginning, then only you have to start a letter. Next one is the block format. Here in this block format, what happens is the date and the complementary closure. is the signature, is the leave taking. Yours sincerely, those words are called as complimentary closure. And the signature, all are flushed towards the right margin. In the previous format, we have seen that in fully block format, everything was written towards the left margin. But here what happens, the date is flushed towards the right margin. And the complimentary closure, yours sincerely, faithfully, or the person to whom you are writing according to it, it depends the complimentary closure, and the signature are written towards the right margin and the rest are from the left margin. Now coming to the semi-block format. There is slight variation in all these formats. In this format here, the same thing. What? The date. See, you have A, B and C. 3 steps. First one is what? Date, complimentary closure and signature. They are written on the right side. B, the address are written on the left, from address to address, salutation. And the last one, the paragraphs. The paragraphs are in the intended form, is leaving some place from the margin and writing the paragraph. Okay, in this way you are going to write a semi-block format. Next one is the simplified format. Here you need not have to follow any of these rules like a block format or a semi-block format. You just go with a fully block format. There you have to leave, no need to write a salutation or the complimentary closure like dear sir or yours faithfully or yours sincerely is not required. You have to just write the matter here. Okay, you need not have to go for any formalities because it eliminates the problem of gender. Suppose if you are writing a letter to a bank manager but you don't know who the bank manager is there, whether he is he or she. Okay, then you just to eliminate that problem, you can go with this simplified format, but it is not well in popularity in India. Okay, it is in Western business world we use this type of simplified format. Now I will show you. Now there are other official letters also, like letter of application, letter to government official, letter to newspaper. Suppose if you are asked to write a letter to an editor, then you can go with it. Job application letter, by seeing an advertisement of job vacancy, how to write a job application, that is another section that we will see in detail later on. Recommendation letter, reference letters, termination letters, these all comes under official letters. Now this in this slide I will show you the format of fully blocked format. Here you will go with from address. From address means who is writing that. Suppose I am writing a letter, so what I will do here is I will write my address, my name, my home, okay, my street number, everything I will write there. Then I will go with the date. Suppose imagine that today's date is 19th June 2020. Okay, then after that I go with to address, to whom I am writing the letter. Suppose imagine that I am writing a letter to the manager, so I will go with to the manager, bank manager. So and so bank, so and so address. Okay, it's over. Then after it, then we'll go with salutation. Salutation is nothing but a form of a greeting. Means dear sir or respected sir. Sir or madam, if you know. So you can go with respected also, but in the modern way of letter writing, we simply go with dear is preferable instead of respected. It is seen as an old-fashioned word. Okay, after salutation, you have the another one, that is important thing, that is subject. Subject is required. See, whenever you write official letter, subject plays a main role because the other person doesn't have to have the enough time to go with each and every letter. By simply seeing the subject, they will give the importance to that particular letter. Suppose if you are writing a letter to a principal, asking to issuance a TC certificate. Then you will just write here subject issue a TC certificate or TC. So definitely they won't read all this matter, they will just see the subject and they will find out, okay, this candidate wants a TC. After the subject, then you will go with the body of the letter. Okay, I'll continue here with the body of the letter. Body of the letter can be of 2 or 3 paragraphs depending on the matter. If it is much required, then you have to prolong the matter in official letters, or else you have to write in a brief and concise manner. Suppose if you are writing a body of the letter, so no need to greet the person again and again. You just simply go with your name. I am so and so, a resident of so and so area. I have so and so problem. Suppose you have a complaint regarding some water issue or some electric power. So you just go with your name, the locality where you reside, and you just write that so and so problems arises in our area frequently. So please rectify our problem. In that manner, you just complete the letter in short. It should not be short enough that the other person can't understand what the problem is. Right? So after completing that body of the letter, then what the next thing you will do is, after completing, then you have to go with a complimentary closure. Complimentary closure means yours sincerely or yours faithfully. Suppose our student is writing to the principal, then he or she can go with yours obediently. Okay, then you have to write your name. Suppose my name is Saroja, I'll go with Saroja, then I'll put my signature. Okay, in this way you have to write the official letter. First thing is you have to go with the from address. See, these are the steps you have to remember when you write a formal letter. See, body, when suppose if the question carries of 5 marks, if it's a 5 marks question, assume, then if you write the format in a correct way, definitely you are going to get 3 marks. Body of the letter carries the rest of the marks. It depends upon your handwriting and it depends upon the matter what you have written. But the format is important. Here from address is required, then date, second step date, then to address. These are called headings. This is a heading. Then you will go with a salutation. After salutation, subject is very important. Without a subject, there is no official letter. After the subject, you have to go with the body of the letter. Body of the letter. After completing that body of the letter, you feel that you have written everything, whatever you want to express, you have expressed very perfectly. Then you can just close your letter by a complimentary close. Then you can go with a signature. Right? This is the format of a fully blocked format, and see, you have seen everything is written towards the left side, left corner. Now we'll see next one, block format. In block format, from address is given here. Date is written towards the right margin. Suppose imagine that this is your paper. This is the margin. Always remember, when you write an exam, you will get a booklet. In that already they have a margin. So you need not have to draw the margin again and again. You just go with that margin and just start writing from the margin. Okay, from is written towards your left, date is written towards your right. Then to address, to whom you are writing. Okay, from address means your address, to means to whom you are writing. Then salutation means dear sir, respected sir. It's a form of a greeting. When you wish a person how you wish, you say namaste, good morning, good afternoon. But in writing letter, we just go with dear sir or respected ma'am or respected sir, whoever he or she is. Then you will go with a subject. Subject, I said, it's very important in all official letters. Without a subject, you don't have any official letter. After the subject, you have the body of the letter. It depends. It depends how many paragraphs or how many lines you have to write. Okay, after body of the letter, you have to go with a closure. Okay, or a leave taking, yours obediently or yours sincerely, then your name or your signature. Okay, so one thing I want to tell is, when you write yours, though I told so many times in the class also, there are the students, they have made lot of mistakes in writing this yours. See, Y should be a capital one, and you should not put here apostrophe. It is wrong. If you put apostrophe there, it's going to be wrong. So yours should be capital Y, and you have to write here yours like this. Okay. Now this is going to be this side. So date and complementary closure are going to be towards the right side. Okay, the rest are going towards the left margin. Next one is semi-blocked format. Here from address, date, to address, salutation, subject. Now, coming to the body of the letter, everything is written towards the margin. From the margin it has been started. Coming to the body of the letter, you have to start leaving some gap. This is called intended paragraphs. Means the paragraphs will be little zigzag in manner. Suppose you have completed one paragraph, again you will start in the traditional format how we used to write in previous days. Okay, in this way you are going to start the paragraph. The paragraph begins from here, not from the margin. Next one is the leave taking or closure. Okay, then you will go with yours sincerely, then your signature, your name in bracket. Okay, so this is the semi-blocked format. Last one is a simplified format. In this format, here the same thing, from address to address, date in middle, no need of any salutation. Means respected sir, dear sir is not required. Simply go with the subject, then body of the letter. As we have learned earlier that simplified format is also same as fully blocked format. So in the same way we are going to write this one also. Instead of salutation and the complementary closure, that is yours sincerely, is not written in the simplified format. But being a student, you all have to follow only one format, that is fully blocked format. When you write, no need to get confused whether to write the date on the right or to the left. Simply you just go with all the formats writing towards the left margin. Okay, only the thing is you have to remember all the 8 parts and you have to furnish here in this letter. Next one. Now see this one. If I show this official letter. Official letter, already we have learned that we have altogether how many parts? 8 parts. So first part is from address. The person who has written this letter, he has mentioned his address on the top. Then the date. Second place is date. Third one is to address, to whom he has written. He has written to the sales manager. Then come the next one is the salutation. After salutation you have a subject here. Subject. And if you observe that everything starts from the margin. So now you can see the body of the letter. I am planning to invest in the stock market and I am looking for some professional advice. The name of your company was recommended to me by a friend who is also one of your regular client. After that, he has written another paragraph also. Then this is the closing phrase of the letter. Whenever you want to close a letter, you can close with this. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, this is the most preferable one. If you are waiting for the response from the other side, then you can go with this phrase. Then you have to go with this one. yours faithfully, your name and signature. Okay. Now the 8 parts. From the beginning I was just telling that there are 8 parts in an official letter. Now we'll see. The sender's address means from address. The date. The inside address, the to address. Salutation, dear or respected. Next one, see the example. Dear sir, madam can be used. If you know the name of a person you are writing to, you can address the person's name by his or name accompanied by the title like Dear Mrs. Uma Verma or Dear Dr. James. If you know the person very well, then you can write their name also. Next one is the subject. The 5th part is the subject. This part is the important feature of all kinds of official letter. All kinds of official letters. Next one is the body of the letter. Body of the letter is the main part of the letter. Okay, because this part is going to tell what the problem is, what the complaint is, about what purpose you have written that letter. The content of an official letter should be, you have to remember that it should be very brief, clear, precise and complete with respect to the information being conveyed. Whatever you want to tell in that letter, the information what you want to give should be written completely. Okay, the other person should not be ambiguous that what the person want to tell. What is just as important is that your letter must be polite, and the language what we have learned is it should be polite, right? It should be brief, clear, precise, and the language should be humble and polite. Even when you refuse an offer or saying something, this politeness you have to learn in every field. Not only writing a letter, but in our personal lives also. Whenever you want to accept or when you want to refuse also, you have to be polite in your words. Okay, that is lacking nowadays. Saying something difficult for the receiver to accept. Suppose if the receiver can't take the word which you harsh words, suppose they can't take no or not directly, so without hurting the receiver you have to use some words so that the person may not get hurt and your work has been done. Okay, you have to be a diplomatic in your personal life also. The complimentary clause. The complimentary clause means at the ending. Okay, before completing when you have completed all the letter, at last you will go with a complimentary clause or a subscription. That is also known as subscription. The expression usually used to close official letters that begin with the salutation, dear sir. We have started with a salutation, dear sir. It ends with yours faithfully or yours sincerely. It is always preferable to go with yours sincerely instead of getting confused by using all these things. So yours sincerely is preferable one. Okay. Then yours respectfully, yours obediently. Being a student, you can go with yours obediently, and your obedient servant is now considered as old-fashioned. So it is simple to remember that when you go with a salutation, go with dear sir. And when you close a letter, you go with yours sincerely. These 2 points you have to remember. Okay. And then last is the signature. The 8th part is the signature. Suppose if you have signed like this, the person doesn't know your signature, then for making them clear, you have to write again your name in a clear manner. So these are the few points should be kept while presenting a letter. In addition to these 8 parts, some official letters have also some of the following. So the first one is the reference letter. Supposed official letter is written from an organization. They have written number of letters to one office or some other company. They used to write that so and so letter. They assign some number to that particular letter. Number so and so 234. Suppose imagine that this is the number given to that letter. So on the 234 1. So this is the first letter sent to that company. Next one 234 2. So in this way they go on giving the numbers. So official letters sent from organization are assigned numbers. They are given some number that help in having the letters filed according to their subject. According to their subject, they will just file it. It is used for filing the letters in a proper way. Okay, whenever you write official, suppose you have written official letter from whom you have written, always take a Xerox of it. Because after some time you may forget what the matter you have written. So you just keep a spare copy with you when you give us some official letters. Okay, so that you can also be aware what you have written in that letter. Next one, the reference numbers placed above the sender's address. Suppose to address is the sender's address to whom you are writing. So on the above you have to write the reference number. Okay, then the next one is the attention line. This sometimes appears, sometimes, not always, sometimes appears above salutation is above dear sir. This attention line is mentioned. It contains name of the person to whom the letter is to be directed, to whom this letter should be given. Okay, it should not be given to every person whomsoever he meets. Next one is enclosure. This we will discuss in our job application letter or covering letter. We will see this also. Enclosure. This is placed in the left margin. See where you sign. There you have to write enclosure. Okay, suppose you have written a letter to the bank manager or where, to the principal sir. Then you have furnished everything, whatever it is required. You have signed also. And along with this letter, suppose they have asked you to submit your 10th memo also. Suppose at the time of admission, in taking admission in college, they asked you to furnish the letter with your Aadhaar Xerox or whatever the important documents they have asked. And after writing the letter, you have to mention that means with this letter I have enclosed my so and so documents, whatever you have asked. So enclosure is written in the end of the letter. Copies. If copies of the letter are going to other persons, see carbon copies we have seen. Means the same letter has been sent to now different number of people or the persons, then you will go with copies. Means the same copy has been sent to other persons also. That you have to mention here, copies. So these many persons we have sent the same copy. Initial. Next one is the initials. So initial means the person who has written the letter and who has typed the letter. Both initials are also mentioned in that particular official letter. Next one. These are the standard for opening formal salutations. First one is the dear sir, that is common, that you all know. Dear madam, dear Mr., Mrs., dear madam. Okay, this is repeated again. Dear Miss or Mrs. Even Miss or Mrs. is written in the same manner, MS. Dear sirs. Okay. Dear gentleman. And the opening phrases. How to open a letter. So thank you. Suppose you are responding to the previous letters which you received. Then you can go with these sentences. That is, thank you for your letter of date concerning. I apologize for the delay in replying. Thank you for sending me a catalogue as stated in your letter or fax of dated. Thank you for your inquiry of. I wish to draw your attention to the. I refer to your letter of date concerning, or I wish to inform you. Suppose if you feel that these are not so appropriate for me to write a letter when you are going for some other purpose, then you just go with like this. First you will mention your name, then suppose if you are an employee or if you are a student, so you will write your name, then you will write your class and where you are studying, what's the purpose. Suppose you have a bank, you are writing a letter to a bank manager. Okay, then you want to change, suppose your address has been changed. You are asking him for change of address, then you can tell your name, your account number, then you will tell your address that we have shifted to so and so place. So please change my address. So you can just mention that. No need to write so lengthy paragraphs. No one is going to impress by your handwriting or by writing the lengthy paragraphs there. They will just see the matter and the subject. If you write the subject, it is well and good. It is important too also. Next one, if you want to continue the same thing, that the previous page we have seen the how to start a letter. Now here continuation. Further to our telephonic conversation. Suppose these are all the official letter. Before you have a good conversation on the telephone, then if you want to remind that person, then you can go ahead. Further to our telephone conversation date. I am writing to inform you that. Further to our telephone conversation. These are the different phrases with which you can continue your conversation in your letter if you want to. Okay, please find enclosed. I am writing to complain. Now when you want to close, if you know the person's name, means that this is the complimentary closure in the business letter, you can go with sincerely. Even if you don't know also, you just prefer this one. Next one. Here are some useful phrases that you can employ to close your business letter or official letter. I look forward to hearing from you. Suppose if you are writing a letter, a job application letter, and you are waiting for the reply from them. At last you can just close with this sentence. I look forward to hearing from you. Means I am expecting some call, a positive response from you. I trust that you will, second one, I trust that you will give this matter your urgent attention. Then look forward to hearing from your response, This is also okay. I hope you can settle this matter to my satisfaction if there is any dispute or any complication in the case. Okay. Next one. Please let me know as soon as possible what action you proposes to take. Suppose you have a complaint. You have complained. I said that if you have written a letter to a municipal commissioner regarding some complaint about your locality, then you can close with this phrase. Please contact me if you require further details. Thank you for your help. Please contact us again if we can help in any way. There are any problems, you have any questions. If you have any problem or any question, you can freely feel comfortable to call me. Okay, next one. Things to avoid while writing a letter, a formal, especially a formal letter. We don't have any rigid restrictions in writing an informal letter because you are speaking to your friends, relatives and to your friends. Here official letters, here talking to the unknown person whom you don't know personally. So the person, when you write, exaggerate the things, the person may get irritated by all those things. So when you get irritated, what happens? Your work will be stopped, right? So things to avoid while writing an official letter is avoid extravagant, means a language. The language should be very humble, polite. It should be a pleasing one. Avoid overwriting, means if you have written, suppose I have written this one widely. Suppose there is a spelling, I have written this one. I don't know the spelling and I have written this one. After seeing the dictionary, I remembered, okay, the spelling of this is this. If I write in this one, it looks odd and the person may get irritated by seeing this thing. So stop writing this thing, overwriting. Avoid lengthy sentences. Avoid short, means write short sentences. Don't go for too long and lengthy, because when the person stops in middle, he will get a half information, and when he goes to the second sentence, he will forget whatever he has read in the previous part. So avoid these lengthy sentences and avoid monotony. Monotony means repeating the same word again and again, or repeating the same sentence again and again. If you want to repeat the same word in another sentence also, go with another synonym, another word, so that it won't show any monotony in that letter. Now we'll see brief abbreviations what are commonly used in our official letters as soon as possible. In the previous letter, previous phrase, we have seen this one, as soon as possible, ASAP. So, next one, CC, carbon copy. Already you know, right? What is carbon copy? When you send a copy of letter to more than one person, then we use this abbreviation. Then enclosure. Already we have seen in the letter example that when you write an enclosure, when they ask you to furnish it with the important documents, after signing the letter, you will just write enclosure in the last. Okay, and you will just write how many documents you are submitting. Suppose you are giving 3 documents. Suppose this is the 10th memo, this is the inter memo, and this is going to be your Aadhaar Xerox or whatever document they have asked. You will just write all the 3. You have to give the number so that the other person should know that how many documents you have furnished there, right? Next one is PP, per procurationem. Okay, it's a Latin phrase meaning what? If somebody, the company's head, is not there, is not available, okay, then on behalf of him, the power of attorney is given to some other person. So he is going to sign and he will write that PP there. And in the postscript, suppose I have written everything, the letter is completed here. Everything is well furnished. Okay, so I have written a body of the letter also. I have signed the letter. Everything is completed, and I remember one more important point that should be inserted in that body of the letter, but I don't have enough space to write there. So what I'll do, in the school, what we do, in our college or in your notes, when you forget something, what you'll do, you'll just put a into mark or you'll put a and symbol and you will just write a sentence in between. Right? But when you come to the official letters, if you write like this, it seems odd and it won't be an eye-pleasing one. So what happens when you completed the signing, then you will go with postscript. Postscript means this is the important point which I want to mention in the body of the letter, but I forget. But it should be mentioned in that letter, so I have written, I am writing here. So the other person won't feel bad. Okay. So he will accept your writing also. Next one is PTO. Please turn over. This all you know, right? So when you complete the letter, at the last, on the right side of the corner, what you will write? If the body of the letter is still continuing, it is going to be continuing in the other page also. Then you will go with please turn over PTO. Then RSVP. Next one is RSVP. If I give a small invitation, it's a birthday invitation or get together invitation if I have given you. So at last what I will mention RSVP means you have to reply me that whether you are going to attend my party or not. For that purpose we used to write RSVP. So these are few of the abbreviations what we use in our formal letters. Now here we are going to see some small some official letters. These are also given in your material in the college. Okay, now see the official letter here. The student is writing a letter to the principal of his or her college requesting him for the improvement of the college canteen. Right, so what happened here? The person has written her address, name, okay, then date comes. The format of official letter, whatever it is, the 8 parts are required. 8 parts comes one after the other. There is no excuse or no exception in that case. So from address, date, to address, sir, subject, then body of the letter. And everything, if you observe this screen, everything is towards the left margin. The paragraph, you have 3 paragraphs, the body of the letter has 3 paragraphs, then you said thank you, then yours faithfully, then your name. An important note is that, okay, respected sir is taken in as a old pattern, dear sir is commonly used. So it depends upon you. Which one you feel comfortable, you go ahead with it. Next letter is a request for the study cum certificate, character certificate. Same from address, date, principal, sir, subject. Subject is given in the question itself. You need not have to search for the subject anywhere else. After completing the subject, if you want, you can write regarding. Okay. Then the body of the letter is mentioned. After body of the letter, thank you, yours faithfully, name. Next one, a register. These are the sample for official letters which I am just showing you. This is a registrar of university, a student writing to the registrar. So again, from address, date, okay, to address. This is true. The student is not writing directly to the registrar. It is through the principal the letter has been sent to him. So subject, salutation, then subject, then comes the body of the letter. Then after writing the body of the letter, thank you very much for your help in this matter. This is the closing phrase. Then yours faithfully, your name. Next one. See the change, about the change of address. You will write your name, your address, then the date, to address, salutation, subject. Subject is required if you observe the each and every letter. Then the paragraph. See, my savings account number. If you want, you can write your name also here. You are so and so person who is writing, I have an account in your bank. So I want, recently we have shifted to some other place. So I want you to change my address so that I can receive my checkbook or PAN card, or means checkbook or ATM card to this correct address. If you want, you can write that also. According to the requirement, you have to write the body of the letter, then yours faithfully, then the sign and the name. Next one, the same. This is applying for a leave as an employee. This is again from address, date, to address, salutation, subject. See, the subject should not be in a paragraph form. It should be a short sentence. It should be a short, brief sentence. Okay. And the body of the letter, yours sincerely, and then your name and signature. Next one. This is a business inquiry letter, same from address. Every formal letter has the same pattern. The from address comes on the top, means yours address. Then date, then to address, then salutation, then subject. Then body of the letter. Body of the letter is written in 3 paragraphs. If you go with this body of the letters in all the letters, you will get an idea how to frame the sentence. See, until and unless you practice, you can't frame the sentence in a proper manner. See, English is not our mother tongue. It needs requirement to practice. Right? When you practice, definitely practice makes man perfect, right? So in the same way, when you practice or when you go through this letter, you will get an idea, minimum idea of framing the sentences. Not 2 lengthy paragraphs, but you can frame minimum 5 to 6 sentences in a proper way. So you have to practice first, okay? Then we look forward to hearing from you. This is the closing phrase. Then yours faithfully, that is the complimentary close. Then your name, the manager. Next one, applying for a job. Same, your address, date, to the person whom you are writing. Then subject, means salutation. Then the subject, for which post you are applying for. Next one, this is the body of the letter. Then complimentary close. See this enclosure here. When you are writing, this is a job application letter, right? When you write a job application letter, you have written this letter on basis on the advertisement which you have seen somewhere else in the paper. See here, Hindu, dated November, okay, for the post in your hotel. So on basing on that, he is writing a letter, and he has furnished his letter with these enclosures, that is copies of certificates. What copies they have asked, what certificates they have asked, he has mentioned here. Testimonials means previously if he has worked somewhere else and he has a good image there, good reputation, he might have bring some testimonials of those persons as a credential to it, right? Next one. Now up till now we have learned how to write an official letter. What are the parts in the official letter? They are all together. I'll give a small brief introduction, again a brief review of the formal letter. That is, it contains 8 parts, and all the 8 parts should be kept one after the other in a proper order, and the body of the letter depends upon the matter, how much lengthy you want to write. Right, at last you have to go with the signature. If there is anything more required, if you want to write anything, then you can use the abbreviations which are given there, and you can use it properly. Right, so 8 parts are required in the official letters. In the exam also, when you write, not only in the exam, in the personal life also, whenever you go and you write a letter, you have to follow all these 8 parts. It's important, it's necessary. Okay, now we'll see some informal letters, that is personal letters, the letters which are written to our relatives, friends, family members. Here you don't have any rigid rule or restrictions or rigid body of the letter. It can be lengthy one also. Here the language is very informal. No need to be too formal. As you talk usually to your friends, you can talk while writing the letter also. Now see this one, personal or informal letters. Informal letters are written to people we know on a personal level. There is no fixed length or format for an informal letter. Most informal letters have the following parts. That is the date, the salutation, the date. Suppose this is the letter. Suppose you are writing a letter to your friend. Then you can write the date here, the place. Okay, then you can go with dear so and so. Okay, then immediately you can go with the body of the letter. No need to mention subject. Most of the students, they do mistake here by writing the subject. Subject is required only for the official purpose, because the other person don't know it, because you are not only the single person to them to give the letter. In office there are a number of people and they give so many letters to that person. So there it is required the subject. But here when you write a personal letter, suppose you are writing a letter to your mother, you are a single child or you are a younger one in your family. No need to mention for what purpose you are writing the letter there. You just simply go with the body of the letter, writing the matter. Okay. So subject is not at all required in personal letters. So don't do that mistake. So here you have written the date and place. Then you go with salutation, dear father or dear mummy or whatever it is, to whomsoever you are writing a letter. Suppose you are writing a letter to your friend, my dear, you can go, or hello, hi, simply you can say that and you can go ahead in writing the letter. After completing the letter, you have to go with a closure. That I'll tell you next. So, in this body of the letter, you have written the date and place. Then you have written the salutation. Now you have started the letter. After completing the letter here, this is the body of the letter. It has 3 parts. The first paragraph, the main paragraph and the final paragraph. So while writing the paragraph, means body of the letter in the personal letters, you have to remember that it should have 3 paragraphs, minimum 3 paragraphs. In it, the first paragraph you will just tell about yourself and ask her about your friend's life. Suppose I'm well here, how about you, how you are doing. These all things are included in the first paragraph. Second paragraph, in that you will just include why you have written this letter. What's the purpose of writing the letter? Or else you are giving a response in response to the previous letter which you have received from your friend. And at last, it's a concluding paragraph. There you will ask the other family members how they are doing. So these are the 3 paragraphs you have to write in a personal letter. Then the close. Then the close means a complimentary close or subscription. That is yours lovingly. Or see here you have some expressions here with love, love cheers, with best wishes, any of the compliment. It's your totally personal. Okay, then the signature. At last you have to give the signature or your name. Okay, then where the to address comes. To address at the end. No need to give from address because they know from where you stay and from where the letter has been come to them. Okay, so to address is on the envelope you will write. Suppose you have written the letter and you are just putting it inside the envelope. On the envelope you have to write the to address to whom you are going to send it, right? Why we write the from address in the official letter? Because the complaint which you have filed there, if they want to give the reply to your answer, they want the address. So you write the from address in the official letters. Okay, the most important difference between the formal and the informal letter is the tone. So in informal letters means when you write a letter to your friends, relatives, family members, it is very relaxed and conversational tone. It seems that as if you are talking to them in live. However, make sure that the purpose of the letter is clearly expressed, whether it is a formal or informal. The message what you want to give in that letter should be very clear. It should not give any space to ambiguous and is acceptable to use colloquialism, means a common language, usage language, and contraction. Contraction means you are all habituated to SMS language, right? You just post in the mobiles, so that language is also accepted in an informal letters. It is best to avoid SMS language, has been said, but if you want, it is your wish. Sample informal letters. A grandmother from a grandson. So just I told you now that you have to write the date and place here. Suppose if you write the date and place towards the left margin, it's also okay. Both are fine. See, I said in the beginning that it doesn't have any rigid rules and restrictions. If you want, you can go ahead with the right or you can go with the left margin. If you have a doubt whether to write on the right or on the left, so simply go with the formal letter type, how we have written in the formal letter, all towards the left margin. So you have to write here all the things toward the left. Okay. Then, dear grandma, then the body of the letter, lots of love, Ashok, right? Next one. To a friend who lives abroad. Again the date and the place is not mentioned. If you want, you can write the date, place also. Then the salutation. How are you? Are your exams? This is the first paragraph. This is the second paragraph. This is the third one. Okay. Next one, cheers. The closing is in the form of cheers. Now, PS. I said it's a postscript. The person want to mention this thing in the middle of the letter, but there is not enough space here to write. So they have, after signing, Kiran, after writing the name, he has just written postscript. When is your brother's birthday, so that I can wish him. Next one, congratulate a friend on his appointment. Maybe all these letters may be in your material also. Now name and place, salutation, congratulations, then the middle of the paragraph, then 3 paragraphs. If you observe this with informal letters, you have 3 paragraphs, best wishes, then the name. Now, inviting a friend to celebrate Dashera with you. Now, this is the name and place again, then your salutation, then the paragraph, bye for now, love, Sumitra. So in this way you can write your letters. So I hope that by seeing this video you might get a clear picture about a formal and the informal letter. Don't get confused between formal and informal letter. Formal is official letters, informal are the personal letters. In personal letters there is no rigid restrictions and rules, and there is no limitation for the body of the language. It can go ahead in 2 to 3 pages also. But when you write for an exam purpose, if you get an formal letter or informal letter, just cut short it in 1 or 2 paragraphs so that the matter is furnished in that paragraph. And remember to write all the parts which are required, and just you all go with your fully blocked format. Here you don't have any confusion whether to go on the right or to the left. Okay, you just go all the parts with the left margin, just joining with this margin you can write. If you just write the format also, you can score marks. And you have to present very neatly, because whatever the presentation you give, though the stuff you have a lot, you might have a lot of stuff in you, but the presentation is not good, then definitely marks scoring is also going to be less. So always remember, whatever you know, present your answers in a perfect manner. First plan, then put your pen on the paper. Thank you for listening this video.